I want to thank you for tuning in the video today. Today we hit the 15,000 mile mark on this truck, y'all. It's been a great truck. Just did a trip to Florida and back, put 2,200 miles on it. You can see we got the BFG KM3s on this thing, on the stock wheels. It's a great look. Rides great, drives great. These are lightweight 37 IBOC 1.6. We got the EGR roll track, power bed cover. You also got the buttons up here, open and close if the truck's unlocked. Got the power lift tailgate. Push the button right here. So on this video, we're just going to get in. I'm going to kind of talk to y'all about my thoughts on driving this truck for 15,000 miles. And y'all know I haven't owned a truck that long. Usually don't ever get to the third oil change. So I'm going to tell you why. So let's get into it on this video. All right, so we're going to talk about the RHO today, y'all. I absolutely like this truck. If y'all couldn't tell about all the videos I've done on it, and I just talk about it today. I'm almost, like I said, 15,000 miles as of this morning. I've done, this will be my third oil change it's going in for this week, and I've had zero problems with mine. I know on the forums and the groups, there's a couple people that have had issues, but overall, absolutely love it. The Hurricane powertrain is really nice. Like I said in my other videos, I'm going to order one of the first TRXs because I really like the TRX. I like that V8, but this thing is no slouch. And what I will say about that is if you're used to HD trucks with turbos, I've tried to drive NAs, even like the 5.7 Hemi. I've had a lot of those 1500s, and it just, towing, anything you do, they do a decent job. Okay, I'm not going to dock that, but one of the things I'll say about this Hurricane engine is with the twin turbos is it has a little bit of that diesel tendency when you're towing and when you're pulling stuff or when you're accelerating, and it just doesn't downshift 2 or 3 gears. You give it a little bit of throttle and the torque is just, I mean, this thing's moving out and it doesn't even grab a lower gear most of the time. And even putting the 37s on here, y'all, and I get, sometimes I overthink things, and I think about, rolling weight, how much is it going to drag the truck down, because I will give this to the stock tires on these trucks. That Goodyear that's on here and wet weather traction, rain, it has done an excellent job. So I really like that tire. It was actually kind of hard to shift off of that tire, but I wanted to get to a 37 because I wanted to fill the fenders up, and I really wanted to put that 1.6 IBOC on the front, which we've gotten done. And y'all, this KM3 does not disappoint. The road noise is just a little bit more than the stock tires. It's not horrible, and these KM3s really roll pretty good at 80, 85 miles an hour. There's no vibration in them, so very comparable to the stock tires if you're looking for that more aggressive look, but still trying to stay in that lighter weight tire, because I think this one's 79, 80 pounds, and for a 37 1350, that's 10 pounds lighter than most that are in the market. There is some other brands out there like Falcon, Cooper, and just I think there's one other one. But if you're looking for a tire that's lightweight, that kind of gives it more aggressive look, at 37 to fill the fender, and it fits on stock wheels. And I would say the handling's about the same to me. I don't really notice any difference on how the truck handles, and it didn't take a lot of power away from it. It really didn't. So my second alternative to that was probably going to be the Toyo RT Trail, and this BFG KM3 just kind of looks a little more aggressive, and that's the look I wanted. So, and I wanted to stick with the 18s on it. So, anyway, but overall, y'all, this truck with everything, like I said, we just did 2,200 miles from Texas to Florida. This truck's made that trip twice. We've made a trip to Tennessee in it. Um, we've done a lot of road trips in this vehicle. It is super comfortable, y'all. That's one of the things I'll say. And it just, the way it handles, the way it drives, it's really hard to explain, and you almost have to go test drive one to understand it. And I think too, when you come from if you're coming from a 3/4 ton to a 1 ton, and you're going to like a 1/2 ton truck, you know, and I'll compare it to the Ford Raptor too. The Ford Raptor and this 1/2 ton, they're wider. They've got the fenders on them. They've got it feels like a little bit larger truck than going down to just a standard 1500. So I think that's another point that for me, that's something I like. It's wider, it's a little more stance, and I feel like it handles really well. and I feel like it's stable, sturdy on the ground, and that's just my opinion of it. But um, I think we were getting close to 470 to 500 miles to a tank on a road trip, so that's pretty good. The town driving knocks it down a little bit. I think town you're probably looking at 13 to 14, and I think on the highway you're getting close to 17, 18. So, for a truck that comes with 35s on it, stock, and the way this truck sits up, it's lifted, and you take any other half-ton truck and you put all that on there, like for example, a 5.7 Hemi, you're not going to get nowhere near that mileage, and you're not going to have nowhere near the power. I mean, what are you talking? You're 540 horsepower on this truck, and to get that kind of efficiency and to get everything that you get out of this RHO is is pretty crazy. I really think Ram missed the market on marketing this engine because it really performs well. And going to the TRX, I know I mean you're going to go from this thing. Yes, you're going to have more power, and but your fuel bill is going to be significantly higher. And that's one thing that I understand. This power in this one, I guess I would call it's very linear. It's smooth. It's on. When you mash on it, it does have a 2 or 3 second delay while it builds boost. That's the difference between turbocharged. But once it gets that boost up, I mean, this thing really gets it. It's not a slouch. So um, just impressed in that overall. And now on the 26s, Ram's going to offer the 100,000 mile powertrain warranty, which I think is pretty significant for them to stand behind their product. And if you look at the Hurricane engine, and they've had some issues. Every engine that's came out in every vehicle has had some issues in the beginning. But for the amount of issues they've had with this Hurricane is very small. I mean, you hear about trucks here and there, but guys, for the masses, they're mass producing that engine and they're not having a ton of problems with it. I don't have a lot of info on the standard output, but I do have the info on the high output, right? Because I researched it. There's a lot of difference between these two engines. I think Ford's pistons, it's just got a lot more internals built differently in the high output than the standard output engine. So, but this thing, like I said, it to get what you get out of this truck and for the price point, y'all, I mean, this truck here, I think stickered for 85, 86. It was a level one. It's got the Mopar steps. It pretty much had everything but the bead locks. And I'll talk to y'all about the bead locks. If you're really not going to use the bead locks and go off road, I mean, the look is there. But I think if you look at that, that's almost 6 pounds difference in a wheel. Okay, that's 6 pounds per corner. And so if you look at 6 pounds per corner, you're taking a pretty significant extra weight, and you're also taking on so you're going to feel a little bit less in your acceleration, a little bit less in your braking. So if you're really looking for performance and you're really looking for the best efficiency, you're better off to go with the black wheel because it's, like I said, I think it's 5 or 6 pounds lighter per wheel. And then if you're going to upgrade the tire size or go to a different tire, that helps too. Now I've got another video coming. We're going to reduce some more rolling weight here pretty soon. I'm working a deal out on that. So I won't disclose all that. You'll need to subscribe to catch that video. And I appreciate all the subscribers too on the channel because y'all, I think we're going to hit 50,000 subs today. And I want to thank every one of you for hitting that button. My goal is to try to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. And y'all have really helped me out with that. So I appreciate it. The next thing is, Z Automotive makes a taser for this thing. And that they haven't figured it out yet. There's a lot of people trying to figure it out for the speedometer calibrations. I'm taking it in and we're going to see if we can adjust the tire size on it, get the tire calibration done. If not, still probably going to have to wait on the taser. But anyway, truck overall, again, very happy with it. I'm going to continue to drive it until the TRX was probably going to be February, March of next year. And so this will probably be one of the first trucks I put 30 to 40,000 miles on. At the rate I'm at right now with 15,000, I think by the time the TRX comes in, this truck may have 30 on it, and I'm okay with that. They seem to be holding their value pretty decent too. If you look at the MMR, look at the market on them. So anyway, but if the video helped you any, please hit that like and subscribe. Again, thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next video.